Hey y'all, this is Helen Honey, and today we'll be talking about the ancestors. So originally, I was gonna go live on YouTube, but you need 50 subscribers to go live on YouTube. So today we just going with the flow, and whatever come out. It's supposed to come out. I'm really stripping away all these layers of illusion of trying to be perfect 24/7. So whatever is meant to come out will come out today. So we're talking about the ancestors. What is the ancestors? The ancestors are the people that's no longer here that's part of your bloodline. The people that you may have knew in the physical or the people that you never met before. I have a lot of ancestors I've never met before. So me being on my spiritual journey, I had the opportunity to tap into knowing my background, knowing where I truly come from, knowing my roots. And I feel like for you to know where you're going, you have to know where you came from. And I feel in today's society, we're told that talking with your ancestors or communicating with the dead is demonic. But why is it that other races honor their ancestors and they're so successful? They're ahead in life. They're thriving. They're healing. They're not dealing with so much trauma. It's because they honor their ancestors. And we're taught, don't go this way because it's bad or it's not normal. But what if our ancestors is the key to unlocking who we truly are? What's in your DNA is the key of unlocking what you truly are. So, that being said, you have to dig deep within your roots and start searching. The answers are on the inside of you. But it's up to you to figure out who I'm truly am. And it comes from knowing that you're not just this physical body, you're not just this physical being, that you're more than that. That your essence comes from a powerful bloodline, that your essence is something amazing. And it don't even have to be down to a human level, but we have ancestors that can be aliens. We have ancestors that came from different galaxies. We have ancestors that can be giants. We're not just this human form. So if we're human right now, that means that we have the ability to be something in the past. We have the ability to evolve to something else in the past. And we have to realize that we're not just limited to this human body, but what we truly are is past this. It's past this earthly realm. And we have to know that if you don't know who you truly are, how do you know where you're going? I remember when I was a child, I had several premonitions. What is a premonition? It's you seeing what's going to happen in the future before it actually happens. As a child, I've seen several things. I've seen people passing, I've seen car accidents, I've seen all that. And no one knew but my brother, my older brother. I remember I told him when I was younger, I talk to dead people, they can hear you, dead people can hear you. And you know, us being younger, he used to tell me, don't say that, they gonna put you in a crazy home. Him not knowing that this was part of my gift. This was part of the gift I was born with, to be able to communicate with the dead or with our ancestors. So I suppressed that for a long time, thinking that I was going to be put in a crazy home, thinking that something was wrong with me. Me knowing certain things that other people didn't know. And it took me starting my spiritual journey to truly embrace my gifts because I thought something was wrong with me. No one else was talking about this. No one else knew what I was talking about. So I had to realize that just because I have this gift, it's nothing is wrong with me. Just because I'm able to pick up on energies and see spirits and communicate with the dead, that is a gift. And I was born with it. So I had to learn to embrace myself because I suppressed myself for so long. I remember a couple years ago, not to go into too much detail because it's not my story to tell, but I had a dream a couple years ago about my brother, and the dream came true. And it was a life and or death situation. And I had the dream maybe 3 times before it actually happened, but it took 2 years for the dream to actually happen in the physical realm. what we don't realize is things happen in the spiritual realm before it happened in the physical realm. So if you're seeing something in the dream realm and it actually happened in the physical realm, but it doesn't happen until later on, that's because the time difference between the spiritual and the physical is different. Things happen faster in the spiritual realm compared to the physical realm. So that being said, my dream came true. My premonition came true. And this was maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I had this dream and the dream came true. So that being said, once I start embracing myself, once I start digging within myself and my abilities and my ancestors, knowing who I truly am at the core, I start realizing that if I have this gift had to come from somewhere. It had to be someone in my family that had this gift, that passed this gift on to me. I remember my mom telling me when I was young that I had an aunt and some traumatic things happened to this aunt. And I believe because these traumatic things happened to this aunt, it caused my other aunt, who had the vision to see, was able to see spirits surrounding my aunt. So that means that this gift that I was born with came from my bloodline. It came from my DNA. We talk about DNA and how important DNA is. Us being humans have the ability to pass on certain traits to our descendants. So say you have a generation and your generation comes from, let's see, say no one in your generation can last when it comes to relationships. Their marriages never work. And you have a child. And that child relationship do not work. It may be because you have a generational trait. I'm going to call it a trait. You have a generational trait that you need to heal or resolve. And until you heal that or until you resolve that, it will continue to happen. What is not healed in one bloodline will be passed on to the next bloodline. So our DNA is so powerful for it to move from the abilities, from the traits, from the characteristics, because we look like our ancestors. From all these different things, it's passed down to the descendants. It's passed on to the next generations. So, being on my spiritual journey, I had the ability to communicate with different people that was able to give me an ancestor reading. What is an ancestor reading? It's figuring out your roots, knowing where you came from, where your ancestors that's no longer here that you've never met came from. And I found out what part of Africa my ancestors were from. I also found out the tribes they was part of. So, in the ancestor reading, it was told that before my ancestors got involved with religion, they was part of a spiritual system called Ifa and Igbo. So that being said, originally my bloodline did not come from Christianity or Catholicism. Did not come from Christianity or Catholicism. So that being said, Christianity is something that was passed on to my bloodline. And the reason why he said that Christianity had came was due to emotional and physical pain. So in the transition of what was going on in their lives, they experienced different traumatic events, and it caused them to sway away from their roots, sway away from what they knew, sway away from who they truly were. And they gained something different, something that helped them in the moment, something that did something in the moment, but it's not really who they truly were. And I had to know that just because, I have ancestors that did not practice what I'm doing now or do what I'm doing now, as in they was Christians, does that mean that I don't have the ability or the right to do what I feel is true to my heart or to my roots? Because what I'm doing is not just about me. It's about everyone in my bloodline. And if I've been using this healing journey, this spirituality, me digging into myself and into my roots, and it's been healing me, it's been helping me, it's been making me know myself better, why wouldn't I do it? If it's done all these amazing things within my life, why wouldn't I take a chance on myself and take a chance on my roots and where they came from? I have a lot of ancestors that may have been doing what I am doing now, but they're no longer walking here. So I have to take a look and say, what can I do today to do something different that feel right to me? And I feel that when you truly know something is for you, you're going to feel it. No one is going to have to tell you you should do this because this is what's right, or you should do this because this is all our people know, or this is what we've been knowing for generations. It doesn't make it right. If you come, for example, if you come from a generation and all they ate was pork chops, and you in a new generation and you saying I don't want to eat them pork chops because I seen what them pork chops did to my people before, why would you pick up that pork chop? You wouldn't pick up the pork chop when you seen what it did to the people before you. So I had to realize that a lot of people that was in certain systems, religious systems within my family, was dealing with things emotionally, was dealing with things traumatically, was dealing with things physically, poverty, all these different things that was repeating within the bloodline because no one wanted, well, no one knew, or no one took the acknowledgement to do something different, whether it was healing or, saying that I want to discover something new or look somewhere different because we're told to look at this one thing. When a musician is on stage and they're doing a magic show, they want your attention to be right here, but what you should really be looking at is something totally different. So that being said, is if all we know is, say we come from slaves and all these bad things, all you're going to think is you come for this one thing and that you're nothing more. But if I say that you was gods, if I say you was pharaohs, if I say you was goddesses, if I say that you was even a tree in one life, then what? What would you do with that information if you truly knew who you were? If you really knew your past and not just this life but another life? Because I believe in reincarnation. I believe that an ancestor have the ability to reincarnate in the same family or transition out of this life and reincarnate to a different life. So that being said, what humanity do is what they don't understand, what they lack a knowledge of, they criticize. If you just came across this new animal and it looked weird, say it got 5 eyes, 3 legs, and 1 wing, you're going to think something wrong with that animal. You're going to think something wrong with that insect. You're going to say, what's wrong with this insect? I never seen nothing like this before. Something must be wrong. But what if your awareness is what made it weird? Your awareness is what made it feel like it was foreign. But in reality, because you never knew this, or because your awareness never got to this knowing, you thought it was weird. You thought that it was something wrong with it. But in reality, you had to realize that what's in the unknown is not bad. What's in the unknown is not scary. We're taught to run from the unknown, run from the dark, run from the blackness. But what if the dark is where it's at? What if the dark is where all the answers are? We don't fear being in our mama womb for 9 months in the dark. We don't fear being under the cover when we're scared, but we fear what's unknown, what's not normal. And everything else that is normal, it's like if that person is doing that and that person is doing that, that must mean I gotta do that. If it's a line of people and everybody in that line of people got black shirts on, are you gonna say I'm gonna put a black shirt on too? Or are you gonna say I'm gonna put a white shirt on? Because I'm a true believer in this society. It's normal to be like everybody else, and it's crazy or weird to be different, to be yourself. It's crazy and weird to be your true self. You get called crazy, weird, all these different things when you're truly being yourself. But when you're acting like everybody else in the circle, it's okay. It's fine. Everything is gravy when you're acting like everybody else. But let you stand out. Let you do something different. Let you wonder. People are going to question, why are you wondering? Why not? Why not wonder? What is wrong with wondering? What is wrong with wanting to know more? What is wrong with seeking? Because we wouldn't have the option. We wouldn't have the option. I truly believe we wouldn't have the option to wonder or to want to know more information if the information wasn't out there or if we wasn't supposed to. I believe that people is who label things good or bad or right or wrong, because I believe that everyone could be a devil to someone and everyone could be an angel to someone. In somebody's story, you're the angel. In somebody's story, you're the devil. It's all about perspective. So, that being said, just because this one person demonized something does not mean that I'm going to feel that same way. It does not mean that I'm going to have those same beliefs. And I feel like it's easy to follow the crowd. It's easy to see, oh, what's the next person doing? What is the next person doing? Can I look at the paper of the next person? But we never take a look to just sit down to see if we even have the answer within us. Have you even questioned if I have the answer? What if you have all the answers? What if you've been had the answers? Because I know that I feel like in this reality, we come back here to remember who we are. And it have you question, what if this life is a whole dream? What if we're dreaming this whole thing? What if it takes you waking up for you to realize that you've been in a dream the whole time? What if? And it's like, sometimes we get so distracted on what's going on around us, we forget to even want to know ourselves or seek something more than the physical realm, than what's going on TV or what's going on the news. Because I believe that a lot of things that's happening in the world are just distractions. It distracts you from you. It distracts you from what's really going on. If you work 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, how do you have time for yourself? How do you have time for yourself? If you're in school for 8 hours a day, when do you have time for yourself? So it's like, they give us the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, to focus on us. 2 days out of the week to focus on us. You telling me we only worth 2 days out of the week to focus on us? Damn. That's crazy, only 2 days out of the week. Because at the end of the day, it's only one you. You only got this one body. And if you work it to the point where you have no more energy, or you don't want to seek anything else, it's so much more in life. It's so much more to life. I'm at a point in my life where I'm seeking more to life than just the physical. I want to get down to the core things. I want depth things. I don't want surface level things, because everywhere you look is surface level things. So why would I want that? I want something that actually feel good. Friendships, family ships, business ships. If it don't feel good on a soul level, I don't want it, because in life it's more than what the eyes may see. It's more than bills, money, looks, all these things that don't really matter, because at the end of the day, you can have all these things and you're still unhappy with life. Can you think outside of the box? Can you grasp what I'm saying? Can you change? Not even change, because I would never ask you to change your perspective. But can you ever take a look at a different perspective? Because I know when it comes down to perspectives, perspectives have changed my life. When I say changed my life, all the way down to my healing, instead of me saying that person did that to me and I'm a victim, I start saying that person was hurt and all that person knew was hurt, so they passed that hurt on. Perspective. Perspective can change your life if you allow it. Perspective. I feel like it's so many boxes. It's so many boxes. And I'm starting to break the boxes down even more and more and more. What a lot of people don't realize is these videos I make, I'm talking about my life story. If you pay attention, it's a story being told. And I hope by me telling my story, I'm able to help other people know that it's okay, know that you can overcome, know that you can heal, know that you can be your true self, but that you don't have to fake it, that you don't have to be perfect, that it's okay to cry, that it's okay to be mad, that it's okay to scream, that it's okay. I'm no longer fitting into society norms. I'm no longer fitting into the construct of this earth. I'm no longer fitting into boxes that's been made, because I'm breaking all that. I'm burning down all that. No more hiding. In life, we've been told to hide, to dim your light, to not speak up, to sit down, all these different things. But when you gonna say, this is what I want, because this is my life, it's time for us to listen to the voice within and what's true within us, and not worry about what other people are going to say or think. I literally can say, since I've been making these videos since January, my birthday month, Capricorn month, I've literally been stripping away all of these false illusions of me feeling like I gotta be perfect 24/7. I gotta look this way. I gotta act this way. I gotta talk this way. All these different things that don't matter. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, the message is going to reach who it's supposed to reach. And If I'm not true to myself, then what am I doing? If I don't be real myself, what's the point? No longer drinking, no longer feeling like I have to be this way or suppress myself, my gifts, my abilities, any of that. And hopefully by me, being truly who I am, it will help other people be who they are and not who they've been told to be. Suppression. No more suppression. No more I'm going to look this way, talk this way, act this way. For who? We got enough followers. We got enough followers. We have enough. So when are you going to say, I'm going to do something different and I'm going to be true to myself? And my story is not going to look like your story. My journey is not your journey, and that's okay because everybody's story is different and it's supposed to look uniquely to you, for you. You wrote the story, you just forgot. Remember? What if you're dreaming all this? What if you wrote the dream, but you forgot you wrote the dream? What if the people that resonate with your soul and you hear them talk and you feel them, you see them in real life, you see them on a video, what if they're part of your story and you told them, leave me some breadcrumbs because I may forget. I may forget who I truly am, so leave me some breadcrumbs because in this lifetime we gonna meet again and I'm gonna need you to help me remember who I am because that's all I'm doing. All I'm doing is helping you remember who you are. Who you were as a child before society told you don't do that, that's weird, that's not accepted. You can't make money off of that. You can't make money off of your gifts. What we was doing as children was being free. But we was told go to work, go to school, work until you 65 years old. Then what? Then we have no time for ourselves. Then we have no time to pour into ourselves. And then you're gonna wake up and realize that time is almost over. So what I realized is through this life, fear may come, but you can use fear to either push you forward or hold you back. And it's up to you. Yes, the unknown is scary. Yes, the unknown is new. But who said it was going to be bad? Who said that the unknown was this big monster? It's just something you can't see. But if you truly trusting in yourself and trusting in where you're going, the unknown wouldn't be scary. Because in the unknown is all the answers. So, once I started tapping into me and where I come from on the soul level, I started to embrace me, and me embracing me helped them embrace them. Because without my ancestors, I wouldn't be here. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I have the ability to heal generational curses, to heal myself, to heal any descendants. So we don't have to do this again because what is not healed would be passed on. What is not healed would be recycled. And until you heal that, you will be repeating the same cycle. So I hope y'all got something from this message today. I thank y'all and I love y'all. Until next time, Healing Honey. Peace.